Hello, everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022, or as I like to say, 2-2-2-2. 1 day a year. 1 day of my life. I can say that. Right, Andrew? Correct me if I'm wrong. He just says, okay. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg, and he says, move on. We've got a great show coming up for you today. We are going to lean into our friends at Sun Prairie Media Center. They're just like Fact TV. And they have robins. So we have Bamlet, they have robins. And that's an inside joke for the staff here. But we are excited to share the Groundhog's Day. We'll take you out to that event. And, well, if you haven't already heard, Jimmy didn't see a shadow today. But if you wanted to see kind of a little bit about the history, it was the 74th annual, Andrew, in case you were wondering, that Jimmy called it. And we'll check in with him coming up. Plus, we'll talk a little bit of winter weather awareness as well as we continue to work through this strange but fun winter season. Some people say it's fun. I say it's been a little cold, but other than that, it's been pretty fun indeed. Let's get up to the headlines, and we start with your property tax payments. Now need to be paid to Dane County as of February 1st. Like every year, tax payments should be made payable to Dane County Treasurer. That you can mail those to Dane County Treasurer, P.O. Box 1299, Madison, Wisconsin 53701. Special Finance Committee happening tonight. In fact, happening right now over on our Gov channel. But in case you missed it, we want to make sure that you do know what's happening as the investment plan moves through. This has to do with the ARPA funds and the TID closure. Tonight is the presentation of the mayor's proposal to the investment plan. And then coming up after tonight, there'll be a public hearing at Common Council meeting. Common Council proposed amendments. Then the summary report of the amendments will be available on the website for the city's website. Committee of the whole meeting to discuss the council amendments, a public hearing at Common Council meeting, and discussion and action on the amendments, adoption of the spending plan. You can see that schedule on your screen, and to see the full plan and the schedule, head to our website, fitchburgwi.gov. And of course, Andrew will share the link so you can go and check this out. Friday fun to go. Head out to the Fitchburg Public Library for some fun to go. Yeah, stop by the Fitchburg Public Library, pick up some fun Friday activity bags. Take and make activity bags are for children ages 2 to 5 and 6 to 12. They will be available in the children's section of the library every Friday starting at 10 a.m. Please limit one bag per child while supplies last. And that starts at 10 a.m., by the way. And at the library. Balloons Basics for Balance. This is a pretty cool one. Starting March 10th at 6 p.m., we will be offering a new exercise class, Ballroom Basics for Balance, in the fun way for you to regain your balance and fun while doing it. Yes, this is a 10-week series for $60. You can visit the website, fitchburgwi.gov. When you get there, you're going to go to the Senior Center page, the program registration tab, and you can sign up for Ballroom Basics. Did I say balloon again? Because I feel like I said balloon, but Ballroom Basics. Okay, phew. The first time we did this story, it haunts me that I said balloon, but Ballroom Basics. Can't say I've ever taken a ballroom class whatsoever, but have I tried? Oh, yeah, I have. All right, moving on. Acceptable photo IDs for voting. Wisconsin requires photo ID to vote. If you don't have a driver's license or valid photo ID, you can get a Wisconsin State ID card for free. You must go to Wisconsin DMV location to apply. Call the DMV voter hotline, ID hotline for assistance, 1-844-588-1069, or go to wisconsindot.gov. And you can learn about the whole process there. And Andrew is showing you the different acceptable IDs there on your screen. That is also available at the website. Mask plus vaccine plus boosters equals best protection against the Omicron virus. That's right. When you wear a mask, you help protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Choose a mask with the best fit, protection, and comfort for you. To learn more about different types of masks that you can use to protect yourselves, well, we got a place you can go. It's cdc.gov/coronavirus. And the mask thing has come really important in recent times. It seems that the KN95, N95 disposable masks seem to be the best protection against this. Any mask is better than nothing. And you could take your cloth mask and put it over top of your disposable mask for pretty close coverage to the KN95 or N95. I'm not suggesting that it's better or worse, but better protection is what I've heard. So I would give that a try if you're looking for another way to stay protected. All right, that does it for my headlines. Coming up next, we open up our digest. We're going to be talking about the Groundhog's Day celebration. We have one right here in Dane County. We head to Sun Prairie next, right here on Talking Fitchburg.
It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and stay home unless absolutely necessary. Use a delivery service for essential items like food and medicine. If you must make essential trips, stay 6 feet apart from other people. Wear a cloth face covering and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey, boss. Okay.
Said I'm fine.
Me the bed, see you in the morning with the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it, and we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. We were underlay in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. We are now going to take you out to the 74th annual Groundhog's Day celebration at Sun Prairie. Jimmy the Groundhog has been making predictions like no other. And he has the forecast for the rest of the winter. Take a look.
Hello, this is Sophie and Sylvia reporting for Kids 4 News on Groundhog Day in Sun Prairie. I'm here with Alana. So, what do you think Jimmy's prediction will be?
That it's late winter.
Oh.
Because it's always cold.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess. Where are you from?
Sun Prairie.
Same. Why did you come to the event today?
Because I woke up early.
Well,
to go here to get a burrito.
Why do you think Groundhog Day is so popular in Sun Prairie?
Because it's tradition.
Yeah. I like groundhogs. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today about Groundhog's Day.
Okay.
This is Sylvia and Sophie signing off from Kids 4 News. Hello, this is Sylvia and Sophie reporting for Kids 4 News on Groundhog's Day in Sun Prairie. I'm here with
Maureen Crombie.
To ask her a couple questions about Groundhog's Day. So, what do you think Jimmy's predictions will be?
Well, you know, I was looking at the weather last night and it was going to be a little cloudy, so we might just have an early spring this year. So
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm actually from Columbus, Wisconsin, which is not far from here, but about 20 minutes away.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Why did you come to this event today?
Well, I'm an alder in the city, and when my kids were younger, we went to this event. I've been here in the city for 25 years, and it's, you know, it's the big event of the year. You know, it's the Jimmy the Groundhog. He's so much better than that groundhog in Pennsylvania. I mean, we're the capital city of the Midwest.
Yeah.
So we're very excited about this day.
Yeah. So why do you think Groundhog's Day is so popular in Sun Prairie?
I think it's so popular because we're already in the middle of winter. and people look forward to thinking about, the possibility of an early spring. And it's a tradition that we've had for, I believe, 74 years.
Couldn't have said it better. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us about Groundhog's Day. This is Sophie and Sylvia signing off at Kids 4 News. Hello, this is Sophie and Sylvia reporting for Kids 4 News on Groundhog Day in Sun Prairie. I'm here with
Jennifer.
We have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So, what do you think Jimmy's prediction will be?
I think it's going to match Phil's prediction, and we're going to get 6 more weeks of winter.
That does not sound fun, but to each their own.
I didn't say I enjoyed it.
Where are you from?
Milwaukee.
Cool. So, why'd you come to this event today?
I've been coming to see Jimmy for about 15 years now. Groundhog's Day was my dad's favorite holiday, and so I've always looked for a way to celebrate, and coming to see Jimmy's been one of them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Why do you think Groundhog Day is so popular in Sun Prairie?
I don't know. I really don't know.
That's an honest answer. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us about Groundhog Day. This is Sylvia and Sophie signing off from Kids 4 News.
Welcome everyone to Sun Prairie, Wisconsin's 74th annual Groundhog Day prognostication, hosted by the City of Sun Prairie's Tourism Commission. Our annual winter celebration is a testament to the hardiness and hopefulness of Wisconsinites. So whether you are hoping for many more weeks of winter to be able to indulge in your love of snow sports, such as snowmobiling, outdoor ice skating, or cross-country skiing, or if you're dreaming for spring flowers and sunny days to brighten up the near future, we welcome you to our celebration.
So we've got Jimmy here, he's ready to go. I'm going to go over and talk to Jimmy because he's usually got a few things he wants to say, and I'll be back here with his prediction. You got a minute to go. Okay, Jimmy. How you doing down there? You've got some clean straw in there. Hey, you're in good shape. You're doing pretty good. So what do you think about the weather? I don't think. What do you think? We want to get done with this and get back in there. Get back down with it. Hey, I'm turning this back Yes, about set. We're going to have you. Is that lion? That would frighten me. Okay. So you're quite the chatter.
I only wish you could be up here to hear the conversation that's occurring right now.
Yeah, thanks.
If you've ever heard of Mayor Sweet Talk at Groundhog, it's happening right now.
You're letting my secrets out, Mike. So people say I talk a lot, but Jimmy is a real talker. I've got nothing compared to what he's got going. And Jimmy has some things he wants me to tell you. So he and I have been talking. He's real active this morning. And he had some things he wanted me to tell you. So let me share this with you. So this is what Jimmy told me. I am pleased to have so many of my loyal supporters with me today to hear my forecast for the remainder of winter 2022. This is the 74th time we groundhogs have given you our prediction. 74 times, that's amazing. So here's what Jimmy had to say. On this cold and snowy February 2nd, I, Jimmy the Groundhog, have consulted the skies over Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, and determined them to be overcast. So I am unable to see my shadow. In consideration of this, I hereby proclaim we will have early spring. Hey, Jimmy!
All right, Jimmy has done it. He's picked warmer weather. For those of you who like snow, well, you can talk to your friend Phil. He picked 6 more weeks of winter. So I guess you decide. And we'll leave it at that. Happy Groundhog's Day, and thank you to Sun Prairie Media Center for sharing that footage. We appreciate ya. We'll take a quick break. Coming up next, we're opening up our guest segment, Pumped. winter weather talk. Who doesn't like talking weather besides this guy? We're talking winter weather from the National Weather Service. Milwaukee Sullivan next, right here on Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me from the National Weather Service, Milwaukee Sullivan, it's Tim Hallbach, and we're continuing our conversation, Tim, with winter weather awareness, and turning our attention now to storm warnings, snow squall warnings, which we'll talk about here in a bit. But overall, forecasting snow in Wisconsin, I think it's an art. I love listening to all the different meteorologists trying to figure this out. But I love it. I think what's been the biggest thing that I've noticed from all of them is the awareness of a storm coming in. It does, I think you got to get over the hump of whether it's going to be 10 inches or 5 inches or 2 inches. The prep of, okay, there is something coming your direction, have that action plan and getting thinking on it, I think works. But tell us, just kind of walk us through your general forecasting of snow coming into the area.
Yeah, so typically, we'll start kind of taking a peek at that 7 to 10 day forecast. Is there anything interesting out there? We tend to not get too excited at anything that comes, that far out, just because we've seen that quite a bit where there's something that looks really bad, but as time gets closer and closer, it either goes away or doesn't look quite as intense. So really within 4 to 7 days is when you might start hearing us just talk about that something is there. But really at that point, if you're seeing any sort of like actual numbers of, Madison's going to get 6.2 inches from this snowstorm that's 5 days away, that's way too far out to be that precise on what they think is going to end up happening, because the ranges at that point can be really far apart. So we try not to get locked down until really within 1 to 3 days is when we have a lot more information that we can use to make a better forecast. Whatever forecast we give you at that point is the information that we have at that point. So another thing we tell people is just stay tuned to the latest forecast, watch for updates, because that forecast will change. A lot of people will comment like, well, that's not what it said yesterday. Well, that's, the information that we had available to us at that time. So as we get closer and closer to the event, we get more details and that forecast will change. But for more information that comes in. So really the day of, we're trying to nail down timing, what people are going to really get the worst of the snow. But even as the snow is, starting, there can be things that happen within the big snow band that tell us, different areas are going to get hit harder than others. And really it can be the size of a county or less for where that heavy snow band sets up. So it can be really difficult to try to pin down exactly where that is. So on those days, you might see a big range of numbers from us, but those really are the main scenarios that we might see. So, but in general, the closer and closer you get to the storm, use it, as an awareness thing from 1 to 3 days out or beyond that. And then, as the day gets, closer and closer, that's when you should be taking action and kind of rearranging your schedule or, travel plans that you might have.
And piggybacking on that, when do you start issuing the warnings and the watches and the different things? And if you could walk us through each level, kind of leading up to, I don't know, the big ones, the blizzard, but whatever you want to, however that goes down.
So typically beyond 48 hours is when we would do a winter storm watch. That is, from 48 hours on out to maybe, so 2 to 3 days out is when you'll get a watch from us. And that's just a heads up, there's something that's coming through. It can either be for a winter storm, an ice storm, or a blizzard that we would issue that winter storm watch for. So the watch is at that period, and then a warning would be within 24 hours. And our criteria for a winter storm warning would be 6 inches or more in a 12-hour period. That's the general guideline. That's when we've seen the most impacts and issues from winter storms. So that's for winter storms. Ice storms, it's 1/4 of an inch of ice accumulation. And blizzard warnings would be for scenarios where we've got 35-mile-per-hour winds and visibility is under 1/4 mile, so whiteout type conditions for a 3-hour period, not just a brief amount of time. So really, we try to reserve the blizzard warnings for the big ones when, it's going to be, you don't want to be traveling anywhere and something like that. The winter storm warnings are similar to that as well, but just might not be, as high end as a big blizzard that we would get here. So typically, again, with the warnings, we'll try to get those out about a day in advance. But again, that can change as we get closer and closer to seeing the whites of its eyes.
And I would say mostly we're going to see a lot of as the winter weather advisory still kind of are kind of the big one we're going to see most of the time. I mean, again, that you can't really ask you to say, well, most of the time we're going to, yeah, it's not, but you would become familiar with that if you live in Wisconsin long enough.
Yeah, the frequency of winter weather advisories is way higher than a lot of the other ones. It's a bit more of a nuisance type snow where it might be happening right at rush hour, that we know this amount of snow falling right at rush hour or right before is going to cause some issues. So it might be for about 2 inches or sometimes even less than that. Just situations where we know there might be issues that occur, like a freezing drizzle or light freezing rain accumulation is when we'd use the advisories. So ice is always really difficult whenever you get any of that on the roads, just because everything goes frozen at once. So we don't like those very much, but unfortunately they do occur. But yeah, the advisories are a little bit higher frequency just because the threshold's lower for it.
Yeah. And just like anything, we want you to hear the watches, the warnings, but I think Tim said it, you got to check back frequently, as you should anyways with the weather, to get the latest. Snow squall warnings. This might be something new or just like, well, what's a snow squall first off, Tim? So tell us a little bit about this.
So this is a program that started back in 2018. There's only been one of these warnings that have been issued in all of Wisconsin since that's come out. That was up in the Duluth Superior area up in far northern Wisconsin. This was a warning that was developed for these situations where you don't get a whole lot of snow, but you get a sudden burst of it that cause these pileups. And there's been a long history of this, particularly in the northeastern part of the United States. We've had some here as well, but just kind of envision where the roads are completely clear. You've got a sunny day. Temperatures are cold where the roads are frozen, but they're clear. And it's happening during the day where all of a sudden this Arctic front comes in and you get this 30 to 60 minute burst of snow where all of a sudden you go from these ideal conditions to just poof, you can't see anything. The roads are slippery, accidents happening everywhere. That's the situation where we'll use this new warning to let people know that this snow squall is happening. So again, we haven't issued any of them yet. So we're continuing to kind of make people aware that this is happening. It's something that will go off on your phone on a wireless emergency alert to say snow squall warning occurring in your area. So just be aware that when that happens, that's something that, hey, maybe this is a time just to get off the highway and let this pass for a little bit if you can afford to do that. Otherwise, just at a minimum, be aware that those hazardous conditions are going to be taking place. So it's a new warning as of a few years ago, and we haven't issued one yet. But that's something that, if you hear that terminology from us, that's the kind of expectation to go from this ideal conditions to all of a sudden just poof, white out, and the roads are a mess.
Yeah, and with due time, we'll run into that. It's Wisconsin. We're due up for it, so we'll keep an eye on that. Didn't leave a lot of time here, Tim, for cold weather and cold weather emergencies, but real quick, we definitely have had some long periods of cold weather in Wisconsin, and we got to be on the lookout for that. So any suggestions or safety tips on that front, make sure we're staying warm and keeping an eye on that front.
Yeah, just the typical things where those periods where we're talking about wind chills getting below -20, -35, that those are really the dangerous ones. So when you start hearing us talking about the cold, make sure that you're bundled up. Any skin that's exposed is going to be the main issue that you have there, and the longer you're out in it, the worse it'll be. So same stuff as what we've talked about in the past.
All right. Well, Tim, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, as always, and answering all my random questions. That's most appreciated as well. You guys stay safe out there, and we look forward to having you back on the show. Hopefully we get through this winter, not too snowed in or frozen solid, but they don't call it the frozen tundra for nothing. So there's that.
No, well, I appreciate you having me again. Thanks, guys.
You bet. We'll check back in with Tim later in the season if things start to get intense, if you will. But otherwise, make sure you do review the National Weather Service Milwaukee Sullivan's website. A lot of great info out there. I pull a lot of information for our show on a regular basis. And readywisconsin.gov, that's a great source to get yourself prepared for any emergency. All right, we'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show for today. I want to thank Tim Hallbach from the National Weather Service helping us out, and our friends at Sun Prairie Media Center for sharing the video from the Groundhog's Day. You can check out their website for the full version of Jimmy Groundhog. Way to go, Jimmy, picking the right one. My opinion, even though I love snow. If we could just get more snow and less cold, I'd take that. All right, Andrew, where can we find more information at? It's right here. I'm going to cry. Hibernate with Jimmy.